All right, my bear cubs. Can I call you my bear cubs? Tell me in the comments below. Today is all about gameplay. We've had enough guides to last a week or so. Why don't we actually look at some fun stuff? I am going to show you my 5-5 tower clear. A lot of people have been asking for how do you get past this stage. Let me show you the characters I used. First off, I do have Cole. There's a lot of breakers, so you want somebody who's a seeker. If you don't have Cole, everybody gets Crimson Falcon, and Crimson Falcon is fantastic. So I've not built a guide out. I think other people have, but you could definitely use Crimson Falcon in place of Cole, and you'll be just fine. And on my gear, just so you know, I'm level 32. Here are the talents I picked. We're going to cover this briefly. And I'm just using the best gear I have. I've had enough of the epic drops for this particular ceremonial knife, which gives 20% crit when you have it at 5-star, to just make that the main weapon. Kind of subpar gear as far as the chest piece, if you will, whatever this slot is called. And my tarot that I have also increases crit by 15%, but it's all magic attack stats, so that doesn't really help me. On Gloria actually, I didn't use her a lot in the fight, even though I brought her. For her, I have both sides of the tree. Right now, these other ones, it's the reaction skill. This one will go away once I get the leader skill. And same thing, like you look at her weapon, it's a level 30. It's just not that good. And these are the legendaries I picked. Feel free to pause. And this was just the best I had at the moment for the fight. I'm not particularly well geared. I did a couple runs with Mytha. She ended up being fairly useless and very risky in this, so I subbed out for Leonide. Ironically, fighting Leonide with Leonide. Same thing, here's his gear, nothing particularly crazy. You can see what I've done for his skills as of this point, just kind of going up the left side of the tree. And Angel, my healer extraordinaire. Again, here's her particular talents. She's just going for the heals. And some very basic gear. This like increases health or healing effects. This one, when I heal someone, you know, it can give them buffs. And for her tarot, it's really just a stat stick. A lot of my tarots right now are just stat sticks. And the person that people probably wouldn't expect, I brought Abyss. I've been having fun with this character. It's an epic, and I'm using her more from the dot/dehabilitation kind of perspective. And I brought her for this. What you do is you pump her magic attack. And when you do that, you cast the spell, it hits a big area. It can go up 8 tiles. So in this stage, you'll see why that's important. And it does 50% of your magic attack damage as life loss, and life loss is basically a dot, is the best way you could say it. The healing decrease doesn't matter so much in this fight. Same thing, her gear's okay. I kept it at level 30. And I'm level 32. So that's the team. Let's go into my battle record. If you didn't know, you can actually save certain records. And if you do different devices like I do, it saves records for the device. So my computer records are not on my phone records are not on my computer. But here we go. Here you can see the team. You can see where I even used Abyss in another stage. And so let me jump in. And you have to forgive the lack of music and sound. People have been getting copyright claimed for the music, and so I don't want to risk that. Granted, I'm not monetized, but even still. All right, here we go. I don't know how to control this record playing thing, so bear with me. It's probably going to go a little bit fast. I'll try to skip through things like where I do rewind time, whatever it's called in this game. There's a couple places where I test things. And so what I want to tell you about as you go into this fight, this guy, Leonide, he hits like a truck. He's hit some of my characters for like 9 grand. You do not want to get hit by his big attack. It can be stopped by a decoy, and I'll show you how I use Gloria to do that. But you can also use, there's a trait skill that I believe that is a decoy. And if you have Inanna, she could do a decoy. Or you throw a body in front of them, and you just do that one time. So the things to know here, a little trick I found, is you can come into this little square, knock this barrel over, get that fire going. And then if you move up a square after that, you will aggro our friend the suppressor. Separating him to this side works wonders. And then you'll see what I do with Abyss to capitalize on that pretty early into the stage. So we'll go through here. You'll see I use March command. I have the upgraded one. And I do that because then I can move again after and move into that square. And there you go. He's going to walk right into the fire. Gloria is kind of right away starting to manipulate the battlefield. A lot of times the enemies are going to hit her flag. And Leonide, I think I actually rewind time a couple times at the start here. Wasn't sure exactly where to position him. And then Cole or any of you blue seekers is just there to do damage against the breakers. And so now this part's important. You're going to see that I need to keep them kind of close together because I want to be able to basically damage them all at the same time. And my healer is just getting her out of the way. I need her to not die. And so there you see she did her dot magic thing. And you're going to notice as they walk across, they're just going to kill themselves. So even though there's a good level difference, I'm using dot type damage and I'm using ground effect type things to really drop their damage or drop their health down where I don't have the damage to do it as easily. Yeah, but we'll keep going here. And then I'm going to put him up there and put Cole into sleep. That way she's not going to get targeted by Leonide right now. I need to control his position as much as I need to control the suppressor's condition. So yeah, so you just saw, part of their team get wiped out. Sorry, this plays really fast. I wish I could control that a little bit better. And now, yeah, I think, let's see. No, I thought I did a rewind there. I'm sorry. With Gloria, I want her flag ready because, again, I'm going to want to use it as a decoy. So there you go, Leonide versus Leonide. And I've taken out the suppressor, 2 units on the right side, and Cole just did some hella damage right there, which is fantastic. And that move, does the win. And so I've already, just a few rounds in, gotten us to Leonide and one of these pikemen, whatever they're called. Can I see it? I can. Papal pikemen. Can I get out of there? So it's important to kind of clear the field as best as you can early on. And again, I use the environment to do that. I have a few other runs I've done with other teams, and without using the environment, I just could not clear it. I was getting wiped out. I would get too many people grouping up on me, and I just couldn't overcome the challenge. And so just really thought about it differently. And then I'm going to show you something cool right here. Actually, I think it might be in a few turns. You can manipulate Leonide's AI in this particular stage to make him walk back and forth on this ledge, and he won't always come down if you do that. Oh, sorry, it doesn't let me go back. What I did there, and it probably wasn't easy to tell, is I have the talent or trait that calls the lightning down, but I have it upgraded to the 2nd level. It does 1,000 damage at the 2nd level. Leonide has something like, I think, 10k damage. Let's see. Or not damage, a little bit over 9k health. And so when you use that particular power, it just does a lot of damage to him. Actually, I'm not quite sure why it's not showing his health going down up there, but what can you do? What you can do is try to get off of the screen. There we go. Now, something I have to keep in mind here. His first big move is this wicked cool looking lance charge. I didn't have a way to decoy that, and I need him to not kill Abyss. And so I just did a sacrificial Leonide walk up in there, give him a little chip damage and walk away. There's not much I can do. And then March Command comes off cooldown. So I can use that to get her out of the way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Do you see how he walked? Come on. It's not letting me move the screen. Well, you saw how he walked over to the ledge instead of coming around it. I don't know why that is, but what I've been doing this whole time... Oh, it wasn't the thunder I did earlier. I thought I did for some reason. That's right. Sorry, forgive me for that little mistake earlier. I had positioned Cole up top after taking out the archer up there because I wanted him in a position to get caught on fire again. And the way I was going to trigger that is this wine barrel followed up by the explosion barrel. And so that's what you just saw happen. Again, I wish I could rewind this. I don't know how. If you know how, drop in the comments for me. And so now something important is happening where he is on fire and he's standing there because the AI hasn't quite figured out to walk around the right side of the ledge there. Cole is just getting out of the way, and I'm going to heal myself here. She can sit back and just help out Gloria a little bit. And so now I've got the dot recharged, and it has that great height range. And so he's burning. He's got a dot that's based off my magic damage. And the only thing that kind of stinks is because I'm not close to Gloria, I'm not getting any additional whatchamacallit, additional stat buffs to make my magic attack greater, but that's okay. You can see right there, he just took 1,000 damage. 800 something from my character, and then another 2 something from the fire. And I can still reach him for just my regular kind of ranged damage. This part here is important. Let's see. I wonder if it skips the backtracks. I remember backtracking a few times in this particular mission. So now I want to control where he's at. Let's see if it shows. Okay, so yeah, see, he has 1 move left on that supercharge move on cooldown. And so I need to get him somewhere to where he's going to get his focus on me, but not my characters. He's going to get the focus on the banner, and I'm going to use that to distract him so he wastes this 9,000 hit on something frankly useless at this point. You can see I'm just kind of holding Gloria in the background. And I'm going to move in my other character in close just in case I get a chance to hit him. And you saw I use that Thunderstrike again, just to take off some extra damage. So moving Cole out of the way, putting myself into stealth. Again, you can use other blue or other Seekers that are assassin classes that have that dodge mechanic. That's really all I care about there. And here we go. Gloria is setting up a distraction. And you're going to see him now come down and fall for it. And that's going to put him in a position I need him to be in. So he can't get to me as Gloria. The other one's stealth. And so here he goes. He thinks, well, let me use 8,800 damage on a flag and then get positioned to get hit. So this is exactly what I want, because now I've got a few turns before he can use that move again, and I can capitalize on that, you know, right now. Unfortunately, I can't reach him with her. She's a little bit too far. Oh, what you just saw there, by the way, that teleport Gloria has, I'll show you after. It's an item that I have, and that gets me a little bit of extra range, and it also buffs my attack when I do that move. So you can strategically save it. And there you go. That's the end. Let me pull up that particular item. I want to show you, because that was probably like, hey, how did you get Gloria to teleport? And let's see. So in here, yeah, so this was the legendary ring I found. Obviously, this is all luck if you get this legendary or not. But you teleport the character behind an ally within 3 tiles, increase attack by 2% for 1 turn, and you can use it 1 time. But you have to wait for it to come off cooldown at the start of the battle. So I've used this quite a few times where I'm just slightly out of range and I can get a couple squares ahead and get a little bit of extra damage for doing it. So yeah, so that was my run. The big thing to note, Abyss, that dot, this one here, that's 50% of magic attack. My sheet damage here is showing 1,100, but once you get buffed and rolling, that's quite a bit more. So, you know, you can hit a good 1,000 2 turns in a row from that dot, which is great when you want to hit a group, because this also is AoE. So great power. I think a lot of people will sleep on Abyss, but she's actually a really good character because her other powers do a lot of debuffs. Level 2 attribute debuffs. You get corruption after it's a passive at the end of your turn for more debuffs. So she's like a debuffing, you know, monster who also has great dot damage. I like her. I think she's a fantastic character. But she was really my all-star because she distracted that whole right side. That early part of the game, took out the suppressor with the fire and the dots. Then, you know, started dotting up Leonide, got him nice and soft. And then I was able to position my characters around to control the space of the battle, using the environmental mechanics to my advantage to just do that extra percent-based damage to Leonide. So I hope you enjoyed that. A quick little look. It looks like the replays don't save your backtracks, which maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. So there's a couple mistakes I didn't get to demonstrate. But I'll hopefully do some more, you know, quick things like this, showcase some other characters. Again, if you don't have Cole, just sub Cole for Crimson Falcon. This is a fantastic unit. If I didn't have Gloria, I would have picked somebody else that could have taken some hits from those breakers and basically done what she did, which is just sit back in the corner. And otherwise, the only other thing I would have had to think about was how do I approach Leonide on that last turn to not take his big damage while still pumping out the damage. So I would have had to think through that a little bit. I probably would have used, let me see, maybe an Outlaw Assassin. I think they have a dodge in their kit. And so I could have had the 2 Seekers sitting next to him in dodge. He can't go across the pool. And then after he basically wastes his churn, they can come up double damage as the class that out damage, or the class that has the advantage. And I think that would have done pretty well. So use your roster. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I've talked about how you can use classes that aren't the full meta. Leonide is not a tier master, tier S, tier 0. A lot of people rank him at the bottom. I think he's actually a really good character. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that run. I'll do some more gameplay videos like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.